Shivani Singh. While much of the world was celebrating the winter holidays, the Turkish security forces were engaged in a high-stakes, nationwide operation to prevent a catastrophe. But on the morning of December 30th, that mission turned tragic. In the province of Yalova, just south of Istanbul, a pre-dawn raid on an ISIS hideout erupted into an 8-hour gunfight. 3 Turkish police officers have lost their lives. 6 militants were also killed, and while the government says that they have successfully neutralized a major New Year's Eve plot, the cost of that security has been devastatingly high. Today, we are explaining why Turkey is ramping up these raids. Now, the history of ISIS on Turkish soil and what this resurgence actually means for regional stability. Why the sudden surge in raids? Well, the answer is simple: the new year. Intelligence reports recently flooded the Turkish Interior Ministry, suggesting that ISIS was calling for lone wolf and cell-based attacks, specifically targeting non-Muslims and tourists during Christmas and New Year celebrations. The Interior Minister also confirmed that security forces hit over 100 different addresses simultaneously across 15 provinces. In Yalova, the raid was particularly sensitive. Police found themselves at a residential property where militants were hiding alongside 5 women and 6 children. To save the civilians, the officers moved in with great care. But they were met with heavy fire from the Turkish nationals only, who had been radicalized and who had joined the group. Now, this wasn't a foreign hit squad. This was a homegrown cell. To understand the urgency, we have to look at Turkey's painful history with ISIS. On January 1st, 2017, the world watched in horror as a gunman entered the renowned nightclub in Istanbul during New Year celebrations, killing 39 people. Before that, in 2015, a double suicide bombing in Ankara killed over 100 people at a peace rally. For years, Turkey was described as a jihadi highway, a transit point for foreign fighters rushing into Syria and Iraq. But after 2016, Ankara shifted its policy from open door to total elimination. They launched military operations in northern Syria to push ISIS away from their borders and began a relentless domestic campaign as well. Between 2013 and today, Turkish authorities have arrested over 19,000 people for ISIS affiliations. 19,000. But why is this happening again in 2025? Analysts actually suggest that we are seeing an ISIS 2.0. While the caliphate was destroyed in 2019, the group has spent the last few years rebuilding sleeper cells. We have seen US strikes in Nigeria and Syria just this month. And Turkey is a primary target because of its symbolic value as a bridge between the East and the West. President Erdogan has vowed to press ahead without compromise. But the Yalova shootout proves that these cells are now better armed and more willing to stand their ground than they were 5 years ago. The message from Ankara is one of defiance. The state of emergency in certain districts and the closure of nearby schools are reminders that the war on terror is far from over. The officers killed in Yalova are being hailed as heroes who prevented a Rana-style massacre. But for the Turkish people, the question remains: how many more sleeper cells are waiting in the shadows of the new year? Thank you for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.